here's how you can use AI platforms in order to grow your business through networking. This is going to be part 1, and we have part 2 coming up right after this. You're going to want to use a platform like Shaper, which is AI driven, and they use their algorithms in order to identify people that might be worth you networking with. Now, one of the biggest problems that I face when I go to a networking event, for example, is I don't know exactly who I want to meet. For example, the price of admission or the price of tickets, in order to identify the people that I actually want to network with. So for example, if there's a basic tier that's like a $300 ticket, and then there's a VIP tier that's a $1,000 ticket, I'm always going to opt in for the VIP tier because I want to be able to network with the people who are buying $1,000 tickets, because you know what? They value their education enough, they value the access that they're getting, and they understand how that world works, that you're buying these tickets for access to that room. So whether it's speakers or backstage or just an extra networking event, no matter what it is, it's a great opportunity to be around those people who are paying $1,000 a ticket instead of a couple hundred. That's a great way to do it. But if you wanted to take the AI route, you can go to apps like Shaper and you can basically network on there, because the AI algorithms that they're using are going to direct you exactly to the people that might be interesting for you to network with. And who knows, you might even get some clients out of it. Eventually, there's going to be people that are in that room potentially, or in that group, that are like, hey, you know what? We should partner up on this business. We should do this together. We should do that. And always, somewhere, somehow, it comes back to you. And so for me, if I have an AI driven platform that allows me to network more efficiently, I'm all about that. I'm all about efficiency. I love making things simple because that allows me to do more. I believe in simplicity and efficiency because it allows me to achieve more during my day. Secondly, I use personalized outreach. There are companies out there that have tools like Grammarly and Jasper, and they can create customized emails with a personal touch that are sent out to each one of your new connections. If there's a group of people that you want to network with and maybe you just have their emails, you can use these tools in order to craft personalized messaging to each one of these people. We're just talking about the first initial email, right? So let's say Jasper writes an email for you, you send it out, you make that connection, and now you're like, okay, now what? Or let's say they don't even respond. They're like, who the heck is this guy? Who's this Austin guy emailing me? So basically now you're in a position where you're the one having to follow up. Now, of course, there's also a tool that can do that for you. There's actually many of them. There's HubSpot, Salesforce. All these different tools can follow up with these prospects, or even if they're not prospects, maybe just potential business partners. People often think that they can only put their prospects on a follow-up sequence. You know what? If I want to do business with somebody, if I want somebody to be my business partner, or I want to have dinner with them, or I want to maybe have them on my podcast or whatever it might be, especially if it's a business setting, I'm going to put them on a follow-up campaign because I want that campaign to keep following up with them and checking in so that I'm always at the top of their mind. And they're like, you know what? Now that I'm no longer busy, I was busy for the last 2 months wrapping up this huge merger that I'm doing, but now, you know what? Now I'm free. Now I do want to connect, Austin. Now I do want to do that business together. And so that keeps me top of mind. So whenever they're ready to do business with me. So it's important to do that follow-up, especially if you can use AI-driven platforms and tools like Grammarly and Jasper. Next are data-driven insights. So what I mean by that is you have to have some sort of information, and then you can pull some sort of insights from that information in order to educate yourself on this person that you're wanting to network with. Let's say there's somebody that you want to connect with. There are AI tools like Crystal, which can look at their LinkedIn profile, and it will identify how you should be talking to this person, what you should be talking about, what their interests are, and it can help you predict what you should be saying in order to make that initial connection. Now, I'm a strong believer that you should be authentic to yourself and you should be yourself when you're doing these things, but if that's what it takes in order to catch their attention, I have to speak to them a certain way to catch their attention, great, that's all I need. Remember, these are people who are getting bombarded with messages, most likely, whether it's by marketers or vendors or colleagues or rivals or whatever it is, right? These are busy business people, most likely. And so if you are wanting to connect with them, you have to stand out. You can't look like everybody else. You have to stand out from the crowd. And so in order to stand out from the crowd, you're going to have to create some sort of approach that is unique. And if you can have an AI tool that can just analyze their profile and tell you exactly how to talk to them, I think that's incredibly valuable. And so see, we've collected this data, and now using this data, we have an insight. We're like, oh, okay, when I'm talking to them, I should be extra formal. Oh, when I'm talking to them, I should not be formal at all because they don't like that, and that's not how they behave. And so when we can connect to more people, you see, this is why I love AI. AI is not necessarily doing the job for us, but AI is allowing us to be more efficient at what we do. It's allowing us to connect with more people. It's allowing us to build more relationships. It's allowing us to do more business and be more efficient. And that's one of my favorite things about AI. And finally, when you're attending in-person events, there are two platforms that I wanted to recommend to you guys. The first one is Brella, the second one is Grip, and these are gonna allow you to connect with people in real life using AI. Now, let me explain this just for a second. Basically, it's kind of the same thing as some of the previous tools that we talked about, except it's for an in-person setting. So you can be there in person and you can use AI to identify who are going to be the most likely people that are going to do business with you or partner with you or be a good match for you. So it's kind of like business matchmaking using AI. So the AI tool can predict which people are going to be helpful for you, and it can recommend people based on your interests, based on your business, based on what you do, based on the services that you offer, and it can create those connections. So this is all data driven. This is not just a random guess. This is AI gathering data on you, on the other people, and knowing which connections are most likely to last. And so that way, again, you can save time. Imagine if we were so much more effective at networking. I know when I go to networking events, sometimes I'll meet 20, 30 people and I won't even really make any good connections except one or two. And so what if I could cut all of that time down and only network with those two people that I know I'll make a connection with? I think that AI is going to get to the place where it can do that flawlessly. Now, of course, there's going to be some situations which aren't perfect, but for the most part, AI is being positioned in such a way that it can really begin to do some of those things for us and make us more efficient and more effective at what we do. Alrighty guys, this is part one. Part two is coming up next. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.